Hey, my name is Kathy Roberts. I am the Tidy Tutor, and this is a free little video workshop that I'm giving you. It's called The 7 Steps to Decluttering Success. It comes with a little workbook, and right here you can see I have the first portion of it. I think I've included part 1 and 2, but I'm not sure. But definitely part 1 is here for you, and there's a link in the description where you can get all of the 7 steps. And the reason I've done that is because I have a great little place. It's a free spot where you can connect with me. It's a community, and all of the freebies that I have offered in the past will be there. Right now, I have 2 there, my 10 tips, and this 7 steps to declutter success, which is not brand new, but it's brand new to my freebies because it was a paid product, but I'm giving it to you as a bribe to get over there because I want to make sure that you get everything that you've ever either purchased from me or have gotten for free. And it's really valuable. I think you're going to like it. So I'll see you over there in the community. Thanks a lot. And let me know what you think about the video. Okay, bye. Welcome to the 7 Steps to Declutter Success video workshop. We're going to tackle a common challenge that many people face while decluttering, staying focused and getting sidetracked by other things while trying to declutter. I received a question during a Facebook Live session about this very issue. The person wanted to know how to avoid getting off course by cleaning or taking care of other details in the room instead of focusing on decluttering. It's an issue that all of us can relate to. So I've developed these 7 how-to steps that will guide you through the entire decluttering process from start to finish. During this video, I'll break down each of the 7 steps into actionable tasks. At the end of each step, I'm going to prompt you to pause the video and complete the assignment. To make things even easier for you, I've created a really handy workbook that accompanies this workshop. You can either print it out or simply download it and refer to it on your screen as we go along. This worksheet will help you stay focused and organized throughout the course. It's designed specifically to help you do what you signed up for so that you can get this job done. All right, let's dive in and let's get started. Robin asked, I notice that I have the best of intentions to organize a room, drawer, etc. And then I start to micro-focus on things. So if I see something that needs repair or a deep scrub and can spend hours repairing, fixing, or scrubbing hard water off something so tiny and insignificant that after a while, the whole day is gone. Ugh. So this is pretty common, especially for those of us who are, kind of creative and stuff. Like if it isn't fun, we don't want to do it. There's this level of fun that's connected to everything that we do. And let's face it, getting something cleaned up, there's not much fun in it. So we have to figure out how can we get that job done even though we have the mentality that we have. Because organizationally gifted people, they just do a job because it has to be done or because it's scheduled to be done. They don't have to have any emotion attached to it. It doesn't matter if they're depressed, if their life is not going well, if they're grieving, if they don't feel like it. If they know that something has to get done, they just do it. They're not attached to their emotions and the task like we are. Now here, I have 7 steps that I've listed out that will help you, all right? The first thing is set a long-term intention for that space. Whatever space it is that you want to organize or declutter, you want to get it up to par, usable, whatever, set a long-term intention for it. So don't say to yourself, I have to get this done now, right? And don't think of it as, oh my God, it's going to take so long. Not that. Just kind of like a daydream. All right, like what do you want to use that room for? What will it feel like when you have that room done? How will it be for you in your world so that that room is exactly the way you want it to be? So set like a long-term intention for the space. Okay, it's time to do step 1. Take a look at the download. The page is titled Step 1, Set a Long-Term Intention for the Space. Now start by daydreaming about the space. How do you want to use that room? What will it feel like when that room is exactly how you want it to be? What emotions come up when you're thinking of that room completed and lovely? Do the exercise that's right there on the page. Answer the questions or just write out your daydream, okay? Ready, set, pause the video, and do it now. Number 2, grab hold of your why. Why do you want that done? I'm going to ask you to write it down. Write down your why. And then you're going to draw on that why every time you feel like, I don't want to do this anymore. Because this is what happens. When you first get started doing it,
it feels like you're really motivated to do it. You feel like doing it. You need to do it. You're setting your intention. You're going to do it. After a little while, two things happen. One, it gets so not fun anymore, and you freaking just don't want to go in there again because it's just a drag. And two, when things start to get better, we forget how bad they were, and we kind of let go of the real commitment that we had when we started. So if you can grab even a real negative in this, and this is the only time I ever say that it's important to keep your negatives. If you could grab how bad it feels. Did you have a humiliating experience because of that room? Did you feel a dread when you go in that room? Is it a room that maybe belongs to one of your children, and the guilt that you feel because of it? Is it your room and you know that your health is affected, your mental health is affected, your relationship is affected by it? Whatever it is that you can do to grab that negative feeling that you have about that room, bring it into your why. So that when you come across those times that you don't want to do it or you want to quit, you can bring that why back up. Why is so important. I read this book one time called, I think, The Master Key System, as mentioned in the movie The Secret. And in the very first chapter of the book, he says you need to meditate, quiet your mind. You start with 1 minute. But he didn't give any reason why. Now, I wanted to do the exercises in the book. So when I came across that exercise, I sat there and I closed my eyes. And for one thing, I didn't really know how to meditate. And I thought that it was like emptying your mind of all thought. And that's not what meditation is. But he didn't give an example of what to do or why we were doing it. So I never really got off the ground with that book because I couldn't sit still for a minute. Now I go on for an hour. I can meditate. But that was only after I got some information on why am I doing that? What is it doing for me? What is it helping me with? What will it lead me to? Once I got my why, every so often I have to like listen to another podcast or read a section of Joe Dispenza's book or listen to some of his books that I have on Audible or something. And that builds my why up again because sometimes things fall off, right? We need some motivation. We need to replenish that why. So you might have to do that. That'll keep you not quitting on the job. So that's number 2. Okay, it's time to pause the video. You're going to do step 2. Grab a hold of your why. The exercise is write out how bad this room or space makes you feel. Use examples and emotional terms. You're going to need this as you move ahead getting this project done, so don't skip it. You ready? Pause the video now and do this assignment. I'll see you on step 3.
Okay, so that was it. If you haven't gone into the description box, then please do and click on that link and get hooked up with my new free community inside of school. Okay, leave a message, leave a like, leave a comment. It really helps in the long run for my YouTube channel. All right, take care and God bless.